Think simple. How smart leaders depict the complexity. This is where the strong culture of the container store plays a role, helping the right people succeed and weeding out those who aren't cut out for the experience. The unwritten rules, the 6 skills you need to get promoted to the executive level. It could be setting up a joint venture or a strategic alliance with another company, something that will increase your external perspective and help develop your skills in influence and persuasion. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. Secondly, it's extremely difficult to create wealth when the taxman is grabbing almost half of everything you earn. Wisdom at work. Never lose your holy curiosity. The business vocabulary in practice. The 8 graphs describe the trading performance of Benton Incorporated. Choose one of the terms in the box to describe each graph. Grew rapidly. Thank you for being late. And they learn to adapt to change. And there are those that say, I am behind. What did you do to me? It is your fault. Sales differentiation. 19 powerful strategies to win more deals at the prices you want. Discussion. Once the positioning questions have opened the door and the DI is receptive to learning about this aspect, identify the information to be shared relative to the differentiator. The road to success is always under construction. An angry man opened his mouth and shut his eyes. The wealthy spirit. If you are married, you can do this with your spouse. How to build self-discipline, resist temptation, and reach your long-term goals. If you want to introduce more self-discipline in your life, consider surrounding yourself with the energy conducive to a positive change. Limitless mind. Learn, lead, and live without the barriers. Any teacher in any content area could use this strategy to help spark students' thinking and increase their inclusion. Secret about life every woman should know. Your mind creates your experience of reality, so make your mind your friend. Loving yourself means honoring yourself for your courage on the path of growth. Toward positive youth development. Changing larger social structures. The Book of Why. We have also seen methods that are suitable for observational studies, in which the treatment and the control groups are not assigned at random. Management in minutes. At the end of the scale, poor communication can lead to problems in a team, including misunderstandings, loss of trust, and demotivation, while at the other end of the scale, a choice of the wrong words in a presentation can bring company to its knees. Stepping up. When I interviewed senior executives and CEOs for this book, I asked them this question: how do you feel about people who speak up and challenge things? Applied artificial intelligence. The combination of all of these factors can be daunting to interested companies that have no incentive to look beyond their next quarterly earnings report. Effective communication. Watch your appearance. Make sure that your clothing and grooming are appropriate to your audience, your reasons for communicating, and the occasion. The success of the principles and the dream stealers who tell you that your dreams are impossible and try to make you believe that pursuing them is ridiculous. If so, then it's time for some new friends. The value of everything, making and taking in the global economy. The so-called sharing economy, based on this framework, works by reducing the frictions between the two sides of the market, connecting buyers to sellers, potential customers to advertisers in more efficient ways. What the most successful people do before breakfast. In fact, she said, I felt more groggy after half sleep, interrupted by the snooze button when my alarm went up at 6. Business made simple. And are you communicating their story as an invitation to solve their problems and change their lives? the success of the principles. In the news of the reporting industry, journalists are trained in the art of active listening, an interview technique in which reporters listen and understand so well they are able to ask intelligent, more in-depth questions about the information being delivered. In-depth question. Ten steps in writing the research paper. Feed in all information from the bibliographic card exactly as it is written with this exception. Omit the period after the name of a book, put a comma instead of a period after the name of an article. The completed macrobiotic diet. 7 steps to feel fabulous, look vibrant, and think clearly. You will learn to appreciate your uniqueness, and you will grow to genuinely care for and respect your body. Amazing things will happen. Chapter 18. Maybe uncorking that bottle of wine you've been saving for a special day is the perfect way to get started. life is short and you have only a set of number of years, days, and minutes to do what you really want to do. Stop thinking about what you want to do and go out and do it. Raise your game. Part of the 3 team. Team for our purposes refers to any group, organization, or company that has to work together to achieve a common goal. Make failure your teacher. Where your focus is today, your future is tomorrow. Don't emphasize your past failures and regrets unless you intend to live there. Your mistakes are an event. They are not a permanent condition. Everything you need for your future is embryonic form in your hand today. Everything you need for your future is in embryonic form in your hand today. What do you have in your hand right now? It is a tragedy when people whinge about what they don't have or what has been taken from them. When people lament their losses rather than celebrate what they have. People mourn the loss of innocence at a young age, or lost relationship, lost money, lost houses, or lost businesses. You can do a thing about what has been taken from you, but you can do something about whatever it is that you have in your hand right now. One man live by, all men live not by the thought they spend on their own welfare, but because love exists in man. High interest rate hit the Hamptons the hardest. Although the U.S. economy has been resilient, many families are still struggling. How am I supposed to retire? She asked. I'm not able to save, have that rainy day fund, because I'm trying to take down the debt that I have. Change your brain, change your life. They began to use effectively the martial techniques they have learned in therapy. The digital matrix, new rules for business transformation through technology. In this situation, familiarizing yourself with all of the rules and systematically reviewing and applying your strategy for each one may be the perfect entry point. Certain things mentally strong parents don't do. They don't feel responsible for their child's emotion. Mentally strong people don't dwell on the past. While they do reflect on it so they can learn from it, they don't punish themselves. They don't punish themselves for past mistakes. Instead, they keep their focus on doing better next time. Living abroad in South Korea. The National Postal Service, government-run Korea Post, is inexpensive, reliable, and efficient, with standard mail taking just a day, sometimes even less, to reach anywhere in the country, and rarely more than a week or two to arrive at overseas destination. If there is a delay, it's probably on the receiving end. Some people have strange jobs. How to become a wildlife artist. Studies in zoology would also be useful, as would any work you can find with animals. Up your score. Answer: neither. Spotlight on the USA, the era of the cattle drive, the real era of the cowboy, lasted only about 20 years. Straight talk, no chaser. There isn't a man living who can do without a good woman. using revolt. Faced with that dilemma yesterday, I did the only sensible thing. I turned the problem over to App, my always resourceful, ever sociopathic alter ego. Piecing together the personalities in your workplace. The difference comes in what evoke the emotion in them. Spoiler alert, choose your stock supporting comedy character. Sassy grandmother, sassy. Sticker shock, the day you realize you are worth the millions. Are you leading by example? American slang, food, blood, ketchup. Somebody passed the blood. How about some blood for my burger? Blood. Food run blood. Something for nothing, a time for truth. Guard your integrity as a sacred thing. Nothing is at last sacred, but the integrity of your own soul. I feel like I'm always going to be striving to make some kind of change. 101 American English idiom, toot one's own horn, boast. Good product, bad products. And how about forms that, although functional, go beyond what is necessary, such as Philip Stock's tarantula like the orange juice. creating things that matter, the art and the science on innovation that last. For the first time ever, a significant swath of the general public is expressing itself in ways that endure, not just online, but in all the generated forms of what I call the grassroots creator movement. The innovator's DNA, mastering the 5 skills of disruptive innovators. That is opening up an entirely new market. Are ready to succeed? Didn't you realize that this was a hugely expensive camera and very important to me? The art of asking. Ask better questions, get better answers. A senior vice president, divisional general manager in a large multinational company, when asked by the CEO to explain a hard-to-believe financial turnaround by one of his business units, also responded with anger. The game changers. Do you have an innovation budget that is explicit and transparent? The Norton Anthology, American Literature. Give me my knife. Give me my knife. I shall hang up the meat to dry. Yeah. Perfectly yourself. 9 lessons for enduring happiness. I want to be with someone who has a strong sense of self. Isn't trying to be someone he isn't and enjoys spontaneity. Or I'm looking for a position in marketing where I feel my creativity will be celebrated by a team of people I enjoy working with. Chaotics. Conversely, if a different function, let's say that the marketing function within the same 2 businesses cannot readily provide reciprocal added value to each other, then this part of the relationship between the 2 firms will be the loose. The art of using strategic persuasion to sell your ideas. Column 1 is for the statement that describe what you feel you must do in your organization to be effective most of the time. SOP, Standard Operating Procedure. It is a standard procedure for investors to buy and sell property through dummy corporation. The elements of style. Avoid the use of qualifiers. Rather, very little, pretty. These are the leeches that infest the pond of prose, sucking the blood of words. People, power, and the profits. In fact, the United States did a better job some 60 years ago. At the end of World War II, we were much more indebted, and we were much poorer, with a per capita income just a quarter of what it is today. Yet in the years after World War II, we could afford to provide free education at the best schools to all those who fought in the war under the GI Bill, which meant essentially to all young men and many women except the African Americans who were denied many of the benefits of the GI Bill. Smarter growth. Considerable untapped potential. Untapped potential ways on the other side of the investment. Uncertainties remain, but the reward seems worth it. 100 ways to motivate the others. Create your relationship. When we are coaching leaders who are having a tough time motivating others, it always becomes apparent that their basic problem is that they are reacting. They are reacting to their people all day long. Presentation in everyday life. Metaphors are potent tools. Keep calm for ladies. The willingness to accept responsibility for one's own life is the source from which self-respect springs. heart, the smarts, the guts, and the luck, what it takes to be an entrepreneur and build a great business. One of the most crucial qualities a business builder can possess is knowing when to stand firm and when to adapt. Successful companies adapt their practices and products to environmental shift. Study skills. You can even spread it out on your desk and get an overview of the whole flow of your argument. Overcoming addiction, the spiritual solution, restoring balance. The prosperity paradox. The same is true in forming culture in a society. Natural ways to unleash your brain's maximum potential. If you stick to your guns, you help them learn a new way of relating to you, and the relationship will be better. Ultimately, you will respect yourself more. You incorporated the art of selling yourself. Thank you, Christine, for your business. We will miss you this year. Eat, drink, and be healthy. Whole grains are great ingredients. The globalization of the American psyche, crazy like us. Because the Osima family's lawsuit sought to assign blame for his death, it was tailor-made. It was tailor-made to become the focus of this public debate. Lend me your ears. Great speeches in history. I can think of easier ways to make a living. Younger next year. Live strong, fit and sexy until you are 80 and beyond. After a while, as you know, you should be able to hold it at 70 to 85% of max for an hour or two without flying apart. Count the number of decimals in the problem and use some number of decimals in your answer. Decimals, multiplication. How the mind works. A model of scientific writing, erudite, witty, and clear. Sing around the corners. How to spot the inflection points in business before they happen. This is so daunting. why people fail, the 16 obstacles to success and how you can overcome them. They may not talk about it, they may even try to hide it, but it is there nevertheless. Sprint. How to solve big problems and test new ideas in just 5 days. You might come away with several new ways of looking at your ideas. Getting things done, the art of stress-free productivity. Pick battles big enough to matter, small enough to win. Science. Fill a jar with warm water. Stir in salt until no more will dissolve. The gaslight at the apex. You start the line to avoid the put-downs and the reality twist. Are you being gaslighted? Check for these telltale signs. The brain, the story of you. In this age of digital hyperlinking, it's more important than ever to understand the links between humans. Human brains are fundamentally wired to interact. We are a splendidly social species, although our social drives can sometimes be manipulated. They also sit scary at the center of the human success story. Stillness speak, stillness speak. As long as the ego runs your life, as long as the ego runs your life, most of your thought, emotion, and actions arise from desire and the fear. Life's the greatest lesson, 20 things that matter. Successful people don't find the time. They make the time. Time is life. It is the irreversible and irreplaceable. To waste your time is to waste your life. But to master your time is to master your life and make the most of it. Who killed creativity, and how can we get it back? 7 essential strategies to make yourself, your team, and your organization more innovative. The creative act is first and foremost an act of destruction. ACT essay. Increase your score in 3 minutes a day. They shorten sentences. longevity, unusually prolonged life, litigious, quarrelsome. Life coaching for dummies. Learn to pinpoint your aspiration and the ambition. Make everything easier. Diet alone. Only goes so far in building your resistance to illness and disease, avoiding sweat and tears, finding the best exercise for you. Neighborism. Never quarrel about a baby's name before the child is born. Brain rules. 12 principles for surviving and thriving at work, home, and school. The now occupied nerves of the olfactory, epithelium chat like teenagers on a cell phone to a group of nerves lying directly above them in the olfactory bulb. These nerves help sort out the signals sent to it by the epithelium. The 5 most important questions you will ever ask about your organization. By the same token, by learning about the plans that have gone awry, an organization will avoid expensive future mistakes. Flexibility and learning attitudes have to be 2 important characteristics of an effective plan. strategies of the Serengeti. A somewhat heated exchange between the subsidiary marketing director and the parent finance director resulted, and eventually the mess of mixed communication in the public domain was reduced. Surrounded by idiots, the 4 types of human behavior and how to effectively communicate with each in business and in life. If you are recruiting members to your team, this may be a good place to start. Complementary combination, task-oriented and issue-oriented, introvert pass, who gets along and why it works, group dynamics at their finest. Adaptation, how to handle idiots, that is everyone who isn't like you. This book is written about the concept my father applied in sales trainings and applies them to an even more complex situation. Understanding the idiots who surround us all. You are old, I'm old, get used to it. Contents, introduction, ailments. Introduction. No wise man ever wished to be the younger. Much better to be polite and gracious and ask him to lunch in advance. Public speaking for dummies. Speak with competence. adapting substance and style of cultural needs. The formula to achieve bigger goals through accelerating teamwork. The fact of the matter is this: you don't have to feel guilty for not doing everything yourself. You are not less of a person for getting help. You are not cheating. Even more, there are a host of brilliant and talented people out there who'd love to help you with your goals and objectives, and gain your help with theirs, rather than spending your day feeling guilty and frustrated and limited in what you can do. You could feel incredibly grateful that you have amazing people who not only help you but want to help you. The only way to be remembered fondly is to increase others' capabilities. The Type A woman: how to overcome the stress of being everything to everybody. So I waited him out. The miracles of your mind. Are you ready to unlock your true potential? Chapter 6. The subconscious mind and guidance. Whether you wish to conquer a bad habit, be more successful, obtain harmony in your family, or achieve goals that have thus far been unattainable, you will be given guidelines to put you on the right path. Inner science: the new science to unlock your brain's hidden power. Meditation. Your part of the 3: master your behavior, your brain on goals. Nurture success and avoid the pitfalls with brain-friendly goals. Make the plan, feeding your brain with success. The human brain is a beautiful and complex organ. It contains much of the programming that determines how we live our lives. Most people go through life as if they have been dealt a hand of cards that they have no control over. But John shows you that this is not the case, that your present and future life is in your hands. Speaking. Really, this isn't going to hurt at all. The thought of having to speak before an audience once turned brave students into cowards, but no more. This book will guide you through the steps of learning how to read aloud and converse and prepare and present a talk and do it painlessly. Chapter 5, Practicing and Performing. Think all you speak. Practicing prepared material. Introduction. Speaking is only one of the communication skills that we have. For most people, there are 4 main skills: speaking, listening, writing, and reading. Speaking is closely related to these 3 other areas. Speaking and writing are alike in that they both express our thought to others. Speaking is understood by listening, and the speakers must use listening skills themselves to judge how their words are being received. Speaking a text aloud, one way of reading, brings the receptive skill of interpreting writing together with the expressive skill of speaking. See how closely these skills are connected. Power question: build relationships, win new business, and influence others. The heart of the matter. When someone's legs and knees begin bouncing up and down, the eyes wander, and the person has no question. It's time to do something. You are in trouble. Back to basics, a review of business priorities. Priority number 6, protect your profits. Make it first, make it fast, and make it last. Protect your profit. Protect the income sources. This makes sure that, come what may, you will always have a finger in this pie. Life is an attitude, how to grow forever better. And the good news is people who exercise their brains tend to remain more healthy in every way, physically, mentally, emotionally. Your mind and your body are an integrated system. Changing one part, like your brain, affects all the rest of it. Your first 3 minutes.